Number functions. We've learned what string functions are, how to run them, and also how to nest functions within other functions. Now, we'll look at another type of function. Number functions are functions that work with numbers. They primarily take numbers as input and return numbers as output. They are helpful when working with number values. Three of the most common number functions involve rounding values. We'll look at those functions in this lesson. The round function rounds numbers to the nearest whole number or a specified number of decimal places. The ceil function is short for ceiling, and it rounds a value up to the nearest whole number. And the floor function rounds a value down to the nearest whole number. Let's see some examples of these. Let's take a look at the data inside the product table. The price column here has decimal values. Let's say we wanted to round these to the nearest whole number. We would use the round function. So let's add this as a new column and select the data. We can see that the values have been rounded to the nearest whole number. Some values have been rounded up, such as 149.95 to 150, and 110.9 to 111. Some values have also been rounded down. 60.45 has been rounded down to 60. This is depending on the decimal. We can also use round to the nearest 0.1, or 10 cents if these are in dollars. We simply put number 1, which is the number of decimal places, as the second parameter. Let's run the query. You can see that these values have now been rounded to the nearest decimal place. 60.45 is rounded to 60.5. Now, let's take a look at the ceil and floor functions. Let's say you wanted to see what the price was if you rounded up to the nearest whole number, regardless of what the decimals were. We would use the ceil function. You can see that some numbers that were rounded down before, such as 60.45, have now been rounded up. The values that were 0.95 have also been rounded up. Now let's use the floor function. It has the opposite effect. It rounds down to the nearest whole number. All of the values in the price column have been rounded down, even those with a 0.95 decimal. You can see how the values for each function can become different here. Rounding can also be helpful for manipulation of the values. Let's say you wanted to find the price of the first product, which is a monitor. But a customer wanted to order 9 of them, and you wanted to give them a 15% discount, so they would pay 85% of the normal price. To find out what the price would be, it would be price multiplied by 9 multiplied by 0.85. So let's select our information. This is our product ID for our monitor product. Now let's show the price that the customer would pay if they wanted 9 monitors at a 15% discount. If we run this query, it shows a value of 1147.1175. Now, you might need to round this value because you can't have 0.1175 of a whole number. You could round to the nearest cent. So to do this, let's put it into a new column. We round to 2 decimal places. You can see it now shows 1147.12. Or we could round to the nearest dollar. You can see it's showing 1147. Or we could round it up by using ceil, which will show 1148. Now you can see how these functions can work with the number that you provided and give a different result. So that's how number functions work. Next, we'll take a look at some date functions.